Hi, my name is Elizabeth Worthen. I'm a marriage and family studies major with an emphasis in child development from BYU, Idaho. I am here to discuss with you how to secure an internship and my internship with Utah Foster Care. The first step in finding an internship is to decide what you're interested in. Within marriage and family studies, there are a couple different ways you can do it. Therapy services is a great way to get your internship and apply your education. Working in education itself is important, but there are guidelines regarding it, so please make sure you're aware of those. Support services like Utah Foster Care is another great way to do it. Research available organizations. You can look at online services, regional services, and local services. This gives you a nice broad idea of what's available in your area. Contact any company or group that you're interested in. Some will allow for email or phone contacts. Some require applications, not all. Set up your interview regarding your needs and theirs. Do you fulfill their requirements or service or needs, and do they fulfill yours? It's important that you understand what they're looking for and that you can accomplish what they're looking for in the time frame that meets your needs and the school's needs. It's also important that they actually have what you're looking for. Just because they say they're going to be able to meet your needs and that they'll fall into the right guidelines doesn't mean that they will. So it's important you ask a lot of questions. So making the arrangement for your internship. Most organizations require interviews to assess if they can actually meet the needs that the school requires and meet your needs. This includes timing, application of education, content. So be professional, both in dress and behavior, when you meet with them. Be on time and prepared with questions. This will help them understand what you're really looking for. It also is important when you're doing any interview, whether it's for an internship or job, that you ask questions. They always, at the end of an interview, say, "Do you have any questions for us?" When you don't have any prepared questions, it can be kind of an awkward moment. So it's important that you have questions available and ready for you. If they've answered all those questions within the interview, you can ask them, "Hey, you answered this question, but can you just remind me about your thoughts on this?" And just have them repeat it. Give the organization your time frame right up front and the weekly expectations regarding paperwork and any required hours. Each week of your internship, at the end of the week, you are required to have a weekly timesheet signed, and you will be completing a paper. So you want to make sure that all of your needs are going to be met each week. Ensure the organization understands that an agreement must be made with the school prior to any work beginning. When you put in your paperwork to the school, they're going to send an agreement, if they don't already have one, to that organization. Make sure they complete it. Make them aware that that's going to be happening. And ask them, who should that go to? So I did my internship with Utah Foster Care Foundation. Their mission statement is, "We serve Utah's children by finding, educating, and nurturing families to meet the needs of children in foster care." This is a very specific internship. So the question is, who is the Utah Foster Care Foundation? They were founded in 1999 as a result of some reorganization done within the state regarding foster care. Their goal and job is to train foster families. They're a nationally recognized nonprofit organization contracted privately with the state of Utah. They work in conjunction with the Department of Children and Family Services, or DCFS, to secure loving and nurturing homes for children in state foster care. They help find, train, and support Utah families willing and able to provide homes for children who have been neglected or abused. So what are your duties as an intern? Within the Utah foster care, there are several things that you are required to participate in. You will complete initial consultations with potential foster families. This requires you to go to the homes of potential foster families, anyone that's inquired about doing foster care and agrees to have a meeting. It's about an hour to 2 hour meeting for each family, in which you're going to ask them detailed questions about their life, their history, their health, any questions they have about doing foster care. You're going to give them the foundation that they're going to use to decide if they want to move forward. If they decide that they want to move forward, they're going to go to pre-foster parent training. This is going to be 32 hours of in-class training and 4 hours of online training with a quiz included. You, as the intern, will also participate in these classes. That means when you go to those initial consultations, you're going to have a preview of what they can expect in the classes. So when they ask some questions that can be very difficult, you can tell them, here's a little bit about that, but you're going to learn a lot more about this and more details about this in the training. So just don't worry about if you don't know it right now. You can be prepared with any questions you have for the trainer. In the Ogden region, which is where I did my internship, the trainer is Brian, and he does a fabulous job of really preparing these families. You, as the intern, you'll learn and proficiently use the SAFE database. This is the database that we put all families that have inquired, that have started training, that have completed training, that are licensed, that are actual foster parents. We put all of them into one database that is accessible to Utah Foster Care Foundation and DCFS. It is one location, so it's easy for both departments to be able to communicate with their potential and current foster families. So one of the big things is inputting the referral data. When someone calls, you put their information in the system, then a recruiter will go out and meet with them. In some cases, you'll be assigned to meet with them. You're going to put all that information in. You're going to verify that they want to do the training. You're going to make sure their information gets to the appropriate training supervisor. All of that stuff happens through SAFE. Training takes it takes a couple days, but it's really, once you get into it, it's easy to use. And then, like any other job, you're going to assist in any other duties assigned. Some of this might include research and doing surveys. I did a lot of research and surveys this last couple months, and it's actually really fun. You get to talk to a lot of families that have either decided not to continue because it's just not the right time in their lives. It is a very big commitment to become a foster family. You're going to talk to people that have questions about development, about how to help a child in need, how to, make sure they're getting the therapy or the physical services that they need. It's very important to do that. So some of the benefits from working with Utah Foster Care Foundation: you get to better understand how foster families work in your community. You get to understand the importance of these families, about families in general within your community. I learned a lot about the community and how our community supports foster families and families. Your hours, very flexible. I loved that part. For me, the next option, the work from home opportunity, was huge. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband works evenings. So during the day, I could easily go into the office, but it was harder in the evening. So I was able to do a lot of my work from home. It was great. They do offer mileage reimbursement if you so choose to take advantage of that. That is for when you're going to those home visits and you're doing that, you can get reimbursed for your mileage. And there's a huge application to the training that you've already received through your education. So on top of all of that, you also get to be involved in events within the community. Throughout the year, Utah Foster Care presents several events Some are regional, others are statewide. One of the big ones for each year is the annual Chalk Art Festival held in downtown Salt Lake at the Gateway Mall. They get community members from all over the state to come and do this huge event with chalk, and the kids can draw, and they bring in all these fun activities. It was so much fun. My kids and I actually, that was a benefit. I got to take my kids to the event and got the hours, so it was great. It's a huge event, and it does a lot for helping others understand the needs of the foster care community. They also do monthly trainings, monthly teaching and learning events. The adoption forums, they can be for current foster families that are looking to move towards adoption, so they get more information about what that's going to look like. They're for people that are just inquiring, like, how do I adopt through foster care? They also do foster parent forums where foster parents are able to come together and ask questions of veteran foster parents. So we have a lot of families that have been doing this for 10 years. And so the newer families are able to come together with those that have been around a long time and say, hey, when this came up, what did you do? You get to meet other families that understand what you're going through. They also do group discussion events where they invite foster children that are old enough to participate in that and can choose to participate in a way that you can ask questions. It's actually a lot of fun to get together with the other groups and understand what they're coming from. We do yearly recognition events for foster families. This year we did a movie, Meet the Robinsons, which is a huge Disney film, really, that centers on adoption and finding a family of your own. As part of that event, we recognized our region's Utah Foster Parent of the Year, someone that goes above and beyond the call of being a foster parent. And then we had received a huge book donation, and we were able to give those books out to the community, which was really fun. We also did, this year, we did a regional pool party. So we got foster families from all over the region together in one location and took the kids to a pool, and they got to have fun and games and food. And it's a giant party where foster families and children and bio children all get together and just have some fun, get outside their lives for a minute. Utah foster care is the entire state. They do cover the entire state. So this is a breakdown of the different regions. Some of these regions have multiple offices, but if you're interested in doing an internship with the Utah Foster Care Foundation, these are the regions. So the northern region is everything above North Salt Lake. The Salt Lake region is everything within Salt Lake to the west. And then the western region is actually like the Provo area down towards the west and a little bit to the northeast, but they're more rural areas. The eastern region is very rural. Their office is located in Price. They also have offices in 2 other locations because they're such a big area, but it's very rural. And then the southwest region is located in St. George, but like the eastern region, they do have multiple offices. These offices as listed are the main hub for each region. So, and the main office for the entire state is the Murray office. So if you aren't sure which office to call, depending on where you live, you can always call the Murray office and they'll be able to direct you accordingly. So I appreciate you coming and taking the time to view this. I have learned so much about applying and what I can do as a graduate to help the children in my area with my degree. The biggest connection that I made between my coursework and my experience during this whole thing was that there is such a huge need for families that understand children that have come from backgrounds that aren't ideal. And it was a huge help for me to understand how development worked. I appreciate every experience I had, and I look forward to experiences in the future. Thank you.